Here's what's coming into view on Elevating Denver for December 2022. Snowfall gives rise to snow angels.
And something that the Snow Angel program does is it creates an opportunity for neighbors to assist neighbors.
Visit a mythical art bar for mocktails.
Yeah.
And look who's talking on Communicate with Kids Day.
Allowing the teen to have an out when you start a conversation is really important.
These stories and more are just ahead on Elevating Denver. Was the night before Christmas, and cocktails were stirring. Too many nightcaps, and everything's blurring. Visions and headaches danced in my head. 'Tis the season to end those horrible hangovers. To Enigma Bazaar for a holiday that's sober.
The sober, curious crowd is really getting very popular, and it's like cool now, you know? Like when people, it's not stigmatized at all, in my opinion, from working here. Like it's, people want to make sure that they have something, you know, that they can drink before they come even. And if they don't know that we have mocktails when they come, they're just super excited. So I don't think, from what I see, I don't feel like there's a stigma around being sober at all. Sometimes just about like honoring your health and your well-being and your mental health. And there's a lot of really good things about being able to just have a good time with people and not, you know, get drunk. My name is Carly Howard, and I am one of the owners of Enigma Bazaar.
I'm Erica San Miguel. I am the bar manager here. The community has grown a lot in the past few years, honestly, which is really exciting to see. You know, in the old days, it was if you're sober and you go to a bar, you have the options of soda, water, or like juice. And so it's exciting to have something more to offer to people that still want to participate in events and not feel like they're being shunned, I'll say. So it's exciting to just have people be able to have a glass in their hand and other people not question it. It's important because I feel like, I mean, I've gone through periods of time where I don't want to drink, and it's really hard to socialize without having a drink in your hand sometimes. Whether it be because you feel uncomfortable or because other people are looking at you, like it's unacceptable.
I think it's just opened up to a whole new demographic of people, really, that like want that type of drink. And there really is something, there's just a lot of flavors. There's something for everyone on the menu. You'll feel super welcomed. We serve all of even our groovy non-alcoholic drinks in really fancy glasses with garnishes. So you really do feel like you're getting like the whole bar experience when you order one of our non-alcoholic beverages. I'm gonna make the red room that has muddled strawberries. We've got some lemon juice and some cranberry simple.
I love that simple. It's like Thanksgiving, like after Thanksgiving meal. Mm-hmm. You know? It's like the nap after the meal. Gotta be cute.
What are you gonna make, Erica?
I'm gonna make the Misty Mountain, which always reminds me of Dolly Parton whenever anybody orders it, and it just makes my heart so happy. So the Misty Mountain is a couple of muddled cucumbers, a little bit of pineapple. Cucumber and pineapple is the best marriage. Other than Dolly Parton and her husband, of course. They're probably the best marriage. Some lime juice and a little bit of simple syrup. Oh yeah. And it's also topped with soda water. a little sparkle.
Beautiful.
Voila. How about the star?
What's in this tea?
Butterfly pea flower, licorice tea, and anise. And edible glitter, of course.
Very, I guess I'm making this.
Looks like it.
A little bit of simple, some lemon, and our glitter tea. And it's a nice, pretty purple color. Stir it around. It's so pretty. We're so good at making mocktails.
Yeah.
Happy holidays from Enigma Bazaar.
Mocktails for all, and to all a good night. Happy holidays. Hey Denver, let's get ready to take action on climate change. Our residents have spoken, asking for better, more convenient ways to recycle and compost. Together we can limit the amount of waste we send to the landfill. When food and other organic material ends up in the landfill, it rots and creates methane gas, a dangerous contributor to climate change. Denver wants to reduce our emissions by 65% by 2030. To help achieve this goal, Denver is rolling out expanded waste services in 2023. This means that Denver residents will see free weekly recycling and composting added to weekly trash pickup over the course of the year. Denver is well behind the national average in the amount we recycle and compost. Let's change that. Currently, Denver only sends about 26% of its waste to a recycling or compost center. With weekly recycling and compost, we can cut what we send to the landfill in half. Do you know the vast majority of food products, from apple cores to chicken bones to eggshells, can be composted? Not to mention most yard debris, including all those leaves that fall from your trees. These little changes add up and can help us achieve our climate goals, and we'll get there through a series of steps in 2023. Starting January 1st, 2023, every household in Denver will now have weekly recycling pickup. Set your purple cart out on your regular collection day when it's full. Otherwise, no need to pull it out. Additionally, composting services will be available to all households as well. These green carts will be rolled out beginning in the summer. You will receive a notice in the mail before your cart arrives. The city is moving toward a pay-as-you-throw model and will offer customers the option to exchange their current trash cart size for a small, medium, or large one. Your new bill will depend on the size of your trash cart. The smaller the cart, the lower the fee. With the addition of weekly recycling and composting, which is included at no extra cost, the amount of trash you put into these carts should drop, allowing you to reduce the size of your trash cart and helping reduce your bill. Here's what you need to do to prepare for this change, including applying for a rebate for financial assistance if your household qualifies. Look for your first quarterly invoice between January and March. At least 30 days before your first invoice arrives, we will mail you a letter with key info such as your account number and a parcel ID that you'll need to set up an account. Once you have this info, go to denvergov.org/utilities online to create an account. Once you have logged in, you can sign up for paperless billing, auto pay, view your cart sizes, and make service requests online. Eligible residents can apply for financial assistance. To find out if you qualify and to submit an application, visit denvergov.org/expanded-collection. As compost carts are being delivered, the city will offer customers a credit on their quarterly invoice while they wait for their compost cart to arrive and they can divert more of their trash. If you are already a compost customer, your services will remain the same. We understand that paying for trash service is new, which is why we are including weekly recycling and compost to help you reduce the size of your trash cart and reduce your bill along with it. This is a big shift in the way Denver manages its waste collection, but it's necessary as we take direct action on climate change. To prepare, Denver is hiring new drivers, adding trucks to our fleet, and ordering additional carts. Also, additional technology is being added to the trucks to ensure efficient routes. We appreciate your patience as we grow these programs, and we acknowledge it will be challenging and imperfect at first. Our community has shown us that you value moving the needle on sustainability, and we're going to push forward with our commitment, taking every measure we can to make it easy for residents to divert their trash and protect our environment. Together, we can do this.
Growing up as a teen in 2022 is very different than how our parents experienced being a teen. Things like the pandemic, obviously, and social media in general, and technology, all those things can have negative impacts on a teen's mental health. And so I think that it's very important for adults to realize that. I don't think that they should ever bring up comparisons.
December 5th is National Communications with Kids Day. It's an extremely important time to talk with kids. What we want to do is talk with kids, not talk at them. And we need to listen to them. It's critical. That's how we kind of forge a relationship and a path forward with young people. Today's a great opportunity to begin that conversation.
There's no one-size-fits-all method of approaching the topic or having that conversation. Location and time, I think it really matters where and when you bring up these conversations. Kids always want to feel supported and trusted and like they are not going to be judged by the adult that they're talking to when opening up about their issues. Offering help is important, but I think more than that, kids just want a resource to talk.
I think it's really important for parents and caregivers to know that when they're talking with their children, to listen to them, to validate what they're saying, to be present in that moment, no different than we as adults would want someone to listen to us and validate how we're feeling. Really important to note that for children and youth, sometimes their emotions feel bigger than those of adults, which means that you need to give that time and space to really hear, be present in that conversation so that they feel as though you want to help them, rather than you are trying to correct them or tell them that it's really not that big. Those are not things you want to say to a child or to an adolescent. Rather, you really want to hear what they're saying and be present and tell them, those are big emotions. Let's talk about what I might be able to do to help you work through those.
Too often, we want to talk at kids. We need to listen to what they're saying, particularly now. In post-COVID times, kids have really gone through some very trying issues in terms of social skills, interaction. It's our opportunity to begin to work with them on their communication skills and how we as adults can communicate with kids from a different paradigm.
What parents can do to help build their trust with their kid is starting a conversation in a safe environment, allowing the teen to have an out. When you start a conversation is really important, because kids, when these conversations happen, a lot of the times kids can feel trapped, and when they don't have an out, they feel unsafe. And so if you have a conversation like in the kitchen, for example, that still gives the teen an out to go to their room if they're feeling uncomfortable. So I think just establishing a place where the child feels safe to open up.
Denver has done a lot of work in the area of making sure that community resources are accessible by our youth and by families. So one of those resources is the Colorado Crisis Walk-In Centers. They have multiple locations across the Denver metro area that adolescents, parents, families can walk into to access services. They're provided in English and Spanish, which I think is very beneficial. There's a number of text and chat lines currently that children and youth can access The 988 Suicide Prevention Lifeline is a great option that if someone is feeling unsafe for themselves, they can text and find someone to talk with. Additionally, each school, at least within Denver Public Schools, has at least one mental health provider, a full-time mental health provider, or a compilation of multiple people that are making up that 5 days of services. That might be a school psychologist, a school social worker, a school counselor, a school nurse, all people that are very familiar to our children and youth in schools that can provide access to some type of service.
People think that mental health is only a bad thing, but it's not. Mental health comes in many different forms, whether it's good or bad. I think one of the most important things to stress to parents is not give up. Continue having the conversation. Even if you have had one conversation, don't give up there. Keep going, keep talking to your kid, keep allowing them to open up and keep establishing that trust.
What I really have learned from young people is they want to be heard, they want a platform. And I see that as our responsibility as adults is to create that platform, to give them that voice. Every young person I've spoke to have said, we have something to contribute. Let us be a part of the conversation.
It's that time of year, a time spent with family and friends, sharing in the warmth of the season. Denver is home to a lot of special events, and here's a short list of some old and new favorites for the holidays. The Colorado Railroad Museum provides a ride to the North Pole aboard vintage coaches pulled by an authentic coal-fired steam locomotive. Enjoy holiday magic, caroling, and the hot chocolate sung and danced performed in the heated Polar Express Pavilion. Visit with Santa and delight as he hands you the first gift of Christmas. For nearly 130 years, the Nutcracker has enchanted children around the world. The immersive Nutcracker, A Winter Miracle, is the ultimate holiday event for the entire family. Experience the timeless holiday tale like never before, brought to life on a majestic scale. Magical, enchanting, unforgettable. When it comes to holiday magic, you can count on Denver's Zoo Lights. This year features new installations like Aurora Borealis, Savannah Sunset, and Electric Jungle. As you wander through our winter wonderland, keep an eye out for nightly ice carving demonstrations, cozy fire barrels, and all kinds of festive holiday food and drink. Take in the warmth and charm of an authentic German holiday market with the Denver Christkindl Market. Consisting of cozy wooden huts and unique fine-crafted artisan gifts, the market has tasty treats from local and international small businesses. And for the first time in 2022, the Mile High Tree by Visit Denver will be located with the Denver Christkindl Market in Civic Center Park. This is America's tallest digital tree and free to the public. The annual Light the Light celebration kicked off a schedule of daily holiday light and music shows at Denver's City and County building. The 8-minute choreographed light and music shows occur every night at 5:45 p.m. and 6:45 p.m. from November 23rd through January 22nd, except on Mondays due to City Council meetings. The City and County building will showcase a festive static light display before, between, and after the two nightly shows until 10:45 p.m. And that's a brief look at just a few special events in Denver and the surrounding area. Go out with loved ones and share in all the joy the season brings.
The Snow Angels program was born out of Denver Days, which is an initiative that Mayor Hancock started about 10 years ago. It's an idea that neighbors continue to help neighbors through the snowy months, and something that the Snow Angel program does is it creates an opportunity for neighbors to assist neighbors who are unable to shovel their front walks, whether it be because they're living with a disability or they just don't have the funds to be able to pay for private services, or elderly adults. We have 600 homes currently who need assistance shoveling their walks. We only have about 278 volunteers across the city. So there are 78 neighborhoods in Denver officially. 22% of those neighborhoods do not have a volunteer in them. So it's roughly 17 neighborhoods that don't have anyone who has signed up to serve those needs.
So the sign up for the Snow Angels program was pretty easy. I'm pretty sure I just entered my address and my neighborhood area, and then when it snows, I get an email that has a list of addresses without people's individuals' names of places that need to be cleared from snow. And then that gets sent to kind of all of the volunteers in that particular area, and then you just go and see what's been done or what hasn't been done. And because they're clustered into neighborhoods, they're all pretty close.
So the volunteers that we're looking for is anyone who wants to assist their neighborhood. They can go onto our website, which is denvergov.org/snowangels. They would sign up to be a volunteer, and during a snowstorm, they would receive an email and they would say, in your neighborhood of Belcaro, we need some assistance with your neighbors. Here's an address of someone you can go help. And so really it is anyone who's looking to assist their neighbors. We have snow shovels that we give to all of our volunteers. So if someone signs up to be a snow angel, they receive one of our shovels so that they don't have to go out and buy one if they don't already have one.
It feels important to me for neighbors to help neighbors because there are a lot of needs in our community, and sometimes it can be hard to know how to contribute. And I know there are lots of ways to get involved. If someone likes the snow, if someone likes physical activity, if someone just wants to have like an easy, doesn't take that long, like sometimes even 15 minutes, way to contribute, I think Snow Angels is a great program for that. I think for folks who might be hesitant to sign up, I know that there can be a lot of shame or stigma around needing help. And there's this value around being independent, but really people like me want to be able to help and want to be able to allow folks who need a little bit of assistance to still be a valued part of our community.
I had a woman call me a couple days ago. She's 80 years old. Her husband is a veteran who is almost 90, and they can't risk the fall, especially when it gets very cold outside. The snow tends to freeze, and then there's an option for slipping and falling. And they just are unable to put their own health at risk in order to do that. So somebody who is elderly would require some assistance. Same thing with someone who might be living with a disability, somebody who has a walker or a cane or something along those lines. It's very dangerous to be out on front steps and on front walks when it's snowy and cold.
I definitely feel a neighborhood pride in making sure that the area is accessible. The winter can feel really miserable to people sometimes. The days get shorter, it gets darker, it gets cold, people stay inside. And it's helpful just to have a little bit of neighborly care. And whether people notice or not, I think putting that out into the neighborhood is helpful for creating the kind of place that I want to live in.
I would say that volunteering is a matter of the heart. I think that if you feel the need to help out but you don't know where to start, a great start would be in your own neighborhood. You don't have to make your way across the city in a foot of snow to be helpful, to be of assistance. You know, it takes just a short amount of your time and it makes you feel good.
I secretly, although now not so secretly, love shoveling. And the reason that I love it is because it's a pretty active thing to do outside. And so in the morning, rather than just like cuddling inside where it's nice and cozy, I'll put on all my layers and go outside and like make it a workout. And so I'll try to like hinge at the hips and use good posture and make it kind of a game and make it feel active. And normally it's either snowing, which feels like a winter wonderland, or it's already sunny and beautiful, and then it feels like a fun outdoor activity.
Shopping small during the holidays is fantastic, but it is extremely important to do it year-round.
The very first place people should start is rediscovering their neighborhoods. This is a great opportunity to go wander around and actually speak to the people in the shops and the businesses in your neighborhood. A lot of times, especially post-COVID, folks have become really reliant on shopping online. Hope Tank is a gift shop. We leverage retail and shopping to connect people to organizations and actions in community that matter. We can host small gatherings, we can host more of the small businesses we work with, and going into 2023, my focus is entirely on the small business communities. Small Biz Sunday is a way for us to really give these small businesses the opportunity to engage directly with customers. It's a way for us to use our platform to really uplift the work that they're doing. And we find that folks, when they actually get to talk to people who are the makers, the people behind these businesses, then they're more likely to be recurring customers as well.
I'm Mallory Dene. My business is Lucky Bolo. Yeah, I'm here with Hope Tank. Just so grateful for opportunities to showcase my work as well as support other small makers. I think it's really important to keep, those people and their own businesses thriving. Obviously, we all understand the convenience of Amazon and things like that, and we can get kind of just carried away with clicking without thinking. But a lot of love and attention and craft goes into small businesses and makers.
My name is Melanie May. I am the founder of Supersonic Spreads, formerly known as That's My Jam. I am here to support Hope Tank. I've always been a big fan of Erica and everything that she has stood for. Supporting your local community is first and foremost should be a primary goal, I think, of everyone. Simply because that's how we survive, that's how we support each other. So spending your dollars, even if it means spending a dollar or two more than you would, it makes a huge difference in supporting your community and keeping it, active and vibrant.
We're looking at doing a lot of programming, a lot of content around creative small business. Looking at, changing this narrative around small business as a form of social justice. Like, this is a part of our community that why does it matter if, a woman of color is able to have a successful small business? I mean, that is critical, right? Like, so if she is doing well, that is the heartbeat of the rest of the community. What we have found is folks really prefer our curated boxes. We're able to do anywhere from 1 to, however many you'd like. Like I just did 40 boxes for an organization that wanted specifically products from Black and Indigenous women-owned businesses, so we can source that. And again, that's a great way for me to really support those small businesses where their stuff isn't sitting on the shelf waiting. My goal is looking at everything I've seen as a small business owner over the years, taking that and figuring out how I can best serve my community, and then really, really bring the consumer in. Most of the pricing is going to be the same as shopping online with some of these bigger companies, or better. You're gonna be able to hold it and touch it and see it before you order it. You're gonna have a lot less impact on our environment. Some of the things people don't think about when they're shopping is the local environmental impact that that's having. I would say brick and mortar is sort of the front line of the future of small business. When we see businesses starting to go out and close, that to me is the canary in the coal mine. It completely changes the neighborhood. I hear so many people and see so many posts on social media about, oh my God, this place closed, it's so sad. And then I will directly say, when's the last time you went there? And often it's years. So the idea that someone else is taking care of it is not true. I think it helps to sort of start to really see these humans behind that. And so that's a lot of what we're doing, is trying to tell more of their stories, to help people understand the why behind Shop Small, that it's not just cute. It's real. These are real humans. This is a real community And I think it enhances everyone's lives. Like when we are intentional about this, and I think folks are feeling so disconnected, this is a great way to re-engage in your community.
Stay elevated by subscribing to the city's YouTube page for these stories and more. And stay tuned to our social media channels for more content. Don't miss our new episodes of Elevating Denver, premiering each month. Thanks for watching, Denver.